You alright guys, welcome to my channel. I am Crypto Tyke, the inflation avoider, and I thought I'd have a talk about the week ahead and maybe what to expect and what's going to be happening, and also addressing some things that I saw in the comments about where we are right now in the cycle of alt season. And I think there were a couple of interesting questions that are probably explaining where the market is at right now in terms of the psychology behind it. What I mean by that is, for instance, where we are now, I think a lot of people, because alt season hype has got you to the point where you're quickly wanting to buy certain things before they 4, 5x, 3x, whatever, where you get a little bit overstretched in terms of what you've bought. So my point is this: realistically looking at it, if you've been buying, you should still have a little bit of headroom for the prices to drop further before you start seeing reds. And that's why I've taken some profits along the way as well, just to make sure, should this be, because this is one of the questions where somebody asked and they were like, what if this is the trap and prices ain't going back up? And I just replied, in that case, we're all fucked. It's as simple as that. If this is down from here and it's not going up, we're all fucked. Just bed in and wait for the next year, 2, 3, 4 years. Who knows how long it'd be. That is the deal. However, the very fact that question's been asked is actually quite a positive sign, because it tells you that people are thinking exactly the way the markets want you to think. Now, I can't guarantee that alt season's going to send all prices parabolic, and neither am I a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but that is the point. People will be asking now, what if it never goes back up? And that is when, if prices go down again, people panic sell and the prices get even lower. When in reality, that's a great opportunity for buying. We're in a downtrend where buying, you're getting good prices now, so it's a good chance, good time to lower your average price of whatever you've got by buying more. That's if you haven't gone too soon and spent it all too early. And that's why it's important to stay liquid, and this is why I've said it to Casper hodlers a lot. It's like, you need to stay liquid for moments like this rather than being all in on Casper, because if you're all in on Casper, it gets harder and harder as you go along, because those prices keep going down and you're waiting for a bounce. Now, for Casper holders, that Binance listing could be on the horizon, and that will impact prices, and especially at the latter end of the alt season cycle, when well, we're all retail, but when retail come in, retail, you know, your average Tom, Dick and Harriet who comes in and wants to have a dabble in crypto because they've heard people are making a lot of money, and they'll start buying Casper as well. So that's a good thing there. Anyway, I digress a little bit. My point is this: I did say last week, I said that you should still at this stage really be in profit, even with what's come down and the prices coming down as they are. Otherwise, if you haven't taken any profits along the way and you've been in the red still all that time, then you're probably already quite high risk if the markets don't return or alt season doesn't turn out to be what it's supposed to be. And for the rest of us, what's been happening is, as prices go up, you're still getting new liquidity in, so you get paid every month. For instance, you want to put some of that money into crypto, so you do. You can only do it because you haven't got infinite money, as and when you get money. So you don't get much choice over how high the prices are, and also you want to make sure that you've got certain things. For instance, I'll give Avax as an example because it's a similar journey to what I've done. So what's happened with Avax, and Chainlink's a good one as well, buying when it was at £14, or I can't remember what that is in dollars. I'm going to switch back to dollars soon. So I was buying when that was low, at its lows, and then gradually as time went on, I was able to buy more as the price was gradually creeping up. Now, that was meaning that the bulk of what I've bought in Avax was low price, and I was just adding and topping it up as I went along in smaller increments. But obviously, as a whole, that average price starts creeping up. And then when it hit the equivalent of £24, sorry, I'm talking in pounds at the moment, but that's how I started buying Avax. As that price got to there, I'd now got a decent amount with an average price of around £18.5, £19. So it crept up from the 14, or should I say it was at about £17, the average. So then when it hit that £24, £25 mark, I was able to sell a decent proportion of them to then rotate that into something a little bit safer like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, and just spread the other bits around on things that were also coming up. So that meant I had less Avax, and as we got to the downtrend, where I felt that actually prices are going to keep going down and probably might do into October, then I got rid of a bit more Avax to free up liquidity, and then hopefully catch Avax again as it drops when my new liquidity comes in. So that'll then push my average prices back down, and I'll be able to ride that up by building and probably ending up with as much Avax as I had before in the long term, but it gave me profits, and that profits meant I had more buying power in the absence of new liquidity, e.g. money coming through the door that I could put into it. So what happens is, as you buy, obviously your average price gets higher and higher as time goes along, because of the prices had been going up. So you've got to sort of look at your positions and sometimes take those profits when you need to, as security, if nothing else, just to in preparation for moments like this. And I'm not saying sell everything you've got, but what I'm saying is look at the different ones and look at your profits as a whole, and then decide, is there anything I can strategically sell to take a profit on without damaging my prospects of making a lot of money if the prices go parabolic. And with Avax, I shaved it strategically. In other words, I'm also uber aware that that price could go parabolic. So I'm thinking, right, what can I live with having that isn't going to make a massive change to me should the prices go parabolic, but make a difference to me should the prices go down and make me glad that I've sold. So it does take a bit of working out. It's hard to really tell you anybody how to do it because it's an instinct, and it's just knowing, how my experience with dealing with buying and selling and money in the past all coming together to help me keep that level head as well. And it's important in the market that you stay level headed. Don't get carried away if the prices are going up. Don't get carried away if the prices are going down. Treat it all as the same journey and just plan accordingly. What do I need to top up? What's doing really well? What's most likely to do well? Do I put more into that for the time being while prices are like they were before at a level where they're now starting to get into recent record highs where it could all implode from there? So what What are bigger, more certainties to do well? Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're going to lead the way up the next charge upwards should markets recover and go up, which I think they will. Otherwise, I'd have probably put everything in Bitcoin long ago, which is, the strategy of some people, and it's a sensible one anyway. So that's my point. So the guy had asked, is like, well, what if it is? What if this is it? What if it's a trap? Well, if it's a trap, we're all fucked anyway. You've just got to accept that. Make sure that the money you've got in there isn't money that you desperately need. Play the long game. You don't want to be taking it out because you're desperate for money. You need money. We're all normal people, most of us, who are doing this. We're not all millionaires who don't have to worry about stuff like that. So I can relate to it because I'm having to look and go, right, I don't want to overstretch myself this month. What do I need for the month? What don't I need for the month? That I can go into crypto, and that's what it's all about. So I wouldn't be too worried about the prices at the moment. Could they go lower? Absolutely, yeah. And for that reason, that people have to be worried that it's never going to return. And they've got then a lot of people, what they'll do is go, fuck it, I'm just going to cut my losses here and sell. Prices go down, we clean up some more. People like me are able to buy at the bottom and ride the prices all the way back up. And that's the key to it. It's about keeping that in mind, that when I said last week, the markets have to convince you that it's all over before going up. It's a psychology that people who are big players in markets like this, they understand it. And that's why sometimes you might get that feeling that when you're putting limit orders in, never quite gets to where you want it to go, or when you're putting sells in, it might just be usually sometimes at the bottom all the time, and it's like, fuck me, the price didn't recover. The price recovered straight away as soon as I sold, and it's like, yeah, because psychological levels, they're there to trap you. So if you're feeling sometimes, and again, this isn't financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but sometimes when you're feeling it would be stupid to buy more because this is dead, that's probably the time you need to be buying. When you're thinking, oh, I need to cut my losses and fucking sell, I'm done, that's usually the time to hold on. It's just the way it works. It's the psychology. Think the opposite of your psychology, your natural feelings, and then apply them. Not financial advice, but it's served me quite well so far. I might be wrong. I'm holding on now. Maybe the prices never recover. Who knows? So that's just the way I do things. Anyway, I've been rattling on for long enough now, but what I think will happen over the next... Oh, by the way, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the like button, because I'm only a tiny channel and I need as much help as I can get. And thank you to everybody who's subscribed and done that so far. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you. Anyway, what I reckon will happen over the next week? Well, I think the prices will probably go sideways and then down for a bit. Will they go to their lows of June, July? Maybe just shy of it. So what will happen is people are thinking it's going to hit its lows of June and July, waiting for that to happen, and that's when that turnaround, the October, as they call it, will begin. Probably, I don't think early October, I think mid to late October. I think everything's a little bit delayed, including alt season. I think everything's been delayed from the norms, and this won't be too different. September bear market, that came at the end of the month rather than at the start of the month when everybody expected it. So it's natural to think that the October bull market will occur a bit later than we all expect. Look, it's as simple as this, right? If you're expecting to make shit tons of money don't think it's made easy for you. It's not made easy for you. It's going to test you. It's going to test your resolve. It's going to test your nerve in ways you've probably never had it tested before. That's what's going to happen. You do not get things, you do not get the best rewards just like that. Life simply doesn't work like that. The odd person might win the lottery or something like that. They're just one in very few people. The rest of us, those who are successful, they have to play the long game, and they have to keep their nerve and hold their nerve, even when at times it looks like a lost cause. And that's what happens. You'll hit lost cause, and again, it's that psychology, and it's the same with the markets. You'll feel it's a lost cause and it's all over, and then you'll cash out, and then prices will fly up. That's not an accident. It's not an accident. So there's no guarantees, but if you want to stand a chance, you've got to be in it. And that's why I say, if the markets don't recover, we're all fucked anyway already. So that money, you've got to decide, do I need that money for anything desperate, or am I going to hold on? And I'll be holding on. What's in is in. As simple as that. And more will go in to buy this dip. That it's a great opportunity, so I can top up more than I would have had in the first place. That's my plan. I can only keep my fingers crossed and keep my nerve. I don't know what your plan is. What are you doing? How are you feeling about it? Let me know in the comments. Are you thinking it's just not going to happen? Are you tempted to cut your losses, or maybe you're still in profit and you're like, maybe I could still come out with some profits here? Are you planning on selling? Or are you seeing it like I am, a great opportunity to buy crypto? Well, it's undervalued. Well, it's creeping down to being undervalued again. And just more, the only thing stopping me, apart from that, I've got to wait for new liquidity to come in, days away from that, is maybe it can creep a little bit lower, and worst case scenario, when it does hit that bottom, I'll pick it up anyway as it's just poking back up again, and I might not find the bottom. Nobody ever gets the exact bottom or exact top. Get it as best value as you can. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm not expecting anything too dramatic in gains this week. Possibly sideways action more than anything else. Maybe another drop. Will it hit those lows of June and before July? It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I'm not expecting it to, is the thing. I think it might just fall short of that, as I said last week, just in that buffer zone where people will start to wait for it to hit that bottom and it won't get there. That's my thoughts on it. I could be wrong, who knows, but that is how I think things are going to pan out over the next couple of weeks. This week, bit of down, bit of sideways action, bit of up, but bit of down. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you later, guys. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Bye bye for now.